Hey guys, all right. So I've been feeling a little under the weather. I apologize, but so that's why my voice is a little bit deeper than usual. And it's November, so I've got the November stash in full swing here. I've been sharing a bunch of stuff on social media when it comes to how you can use real estate to really just create wealth. That is with an investment property. If you're a current homeowner, or even if you're not, I want to show a live example. I have a new tool right now, which has just been phenomenal in showing how you truly can make money with real estate, and specifically real estate, investing. So I've done videos in the past regarding short-term rentals, but this one is going to talk about a long-term rental. So, holding a property, getting a renter in there, even potentially having a property manager handle it for you. Real estate, when you purchase investment properties, it's really cool because basically, you've got initial upfront investment. You're not going to make money year one, maybe even year two, but I want to show you the long-term benefits of having real estate and how the power of paying the mortgage balance down in addition to the equity being earned. And then obviously this will go into, being able to increase the rent and things like that. So here it is. This is the investment property analyzer. So what's really cool about this is if you've got an eye on a property, so let's say you drove by or you went to an open house and you saw a home lower priced and you were curious about what it might look like to get into something like that and turn it into investment property. This is exactly what that does. It's linked directly to the MLS. This property is available right now. It actually just had a price reduction. It's one of the real estate agents that I work with here in my local Arizona market. Celeste LaRock Wolf, she is a badass. So if you do need an awesome real estate agent, she is someone I've worked with for years. And even before I was at Loan Depot, I was working with her and she is phenomenal. This is one of her listings. It's listed at $240,000. This purchase price right here is pretty cool because we don't typically see these types of home prices, especially last year. But now, with, the market and everything, the way that it's been going, we are seeing home prices come down. So I thought this one would be a perfect opportunity for an investor to go in and purchase it. And I want to show you how much money you can make on this thing in the long term. What's cool about this is it's all correct, right? We have the purchase price. These are the property taxes, the homeowner's insurance. It looks like it doesn't have the HOA fees. And you know what? Their taxes are not correct on it either. So that's okay. It's going to balance out nicely though. So this one had the taxes at $1,464. They're actually $363. So I'll update that. Homeowners insurance, $70 for this type of property is probably about right. The homeowners association fee, that one I do need to update. So this one does have an HOA of $170 a month. So that's an added expense. And you can see all the numbers update as I plug stuff in. It's very, very fast. And then this one has a property management fee of around $100, which again is pretty realistic for this type of property. The property management fee usually it's about 2%. So it did not have that in there. So I didn't have that there. We'll take that out for now. But again, I can show you the difference in what it does. It's nothing crazy. So here we go. So we've got the address, we got the purchase price. Here are the actual taxes, estimated homeowners insurance, the actual HOA, and then, property tax increase. Plan on around 2% a year. It's probably less than that here in Arizona. Most of the time it stays about the same. Sometimes it even goes down. My property taxes went down this year. Here's what's cool about this is the program here will automatically show you how much you could potentially make in rental income. So again, this isn't going to be exact, but based on the area, based on the price point, this is about what you can expect to get in rent. You're going to get about $1,476 a month in rental income, but in overall expenses, that means after the mortgage payment, after the HOA, after utilities, everything that is going to cost you to actually own this property, you're going to have negative cash flow of around $200 a month, which means this property is actually going to cost you $200 per month. But if you think about that long term, right, $200 a month is really not that bad. I mean, how much are you guys currently spending on a night out? How many times a month are you going out to eat? Maybe you scale that down to one night instead of, every 2 weeks, or we cancel some of those subscription services that you're not really using. I bet you can easily find a way to fit $200 a month into your budget. At the end of the day, that's not a ton of money. The biggest investment is obviously the down payment. So on investment properties, the minimum down is 15%. I'm calculating this one at 20% down. And this is at a rate of about 7.25%. Showing closing costs estimated right around $7,200. So it's going to cost a little bit of money. So let's do the math on that. 240 times 20%. Is $48,000, plus you've got closing costs. So let's call it 50 grand. Let's say an initial $50,000 upfront investment. And as you can see here, you've got in year one, this is the rental income you can expect to receive with anticipating that $1,476 a month. So we've got money that goes towards principal and interest, property taxes. We're estimating, maintenance, repairs, HOA fees. I didn't throw a property management fee in this one, but again, if you didn't want to handle this, because again, I know if it were me, I wouldn't want to handle it. So let's say property management fees, $354 a month. They typically take about 2% of it. So I put in 2% there. So now we can look at some real numbers. So year one, you're going to lose about $2,800. The first year is always the most expensive, but here's what's really cool. Because the deeper we get into this thing, keep in mind, the renter's paying your mortgage every month for the most part, minus, $230 if you're going to have a property manager run it. So again, not a ton of money year one. And then year two, rent is going to potentially increase depending on how long that you have the renter in there with a lease agreement. But this is all just based off of typical things that we see in the market. So year two, we're still not making any money, but you're only losing about $1,700. I mean, that's over the course of the whole year. Year three, we're almost at a break even, but we're still losing about $636 for the entire year. Not too bad. And added bonus, there's tax write-offs to this. You get some, by reporting losses on your tax returns for the investment property, there are additional benefits to reduce your overall tax liability. 3 years into this thing, don't plan on making any money. And so again, that kind of sucks, right? $50,000 up front, not to make any money really in the first 3 years. But here's where it starts to get supercharged. Look at year four. So year four, we're starting to get a return on our investment. Now this thing is paying for itself. And so I know I've mentioned it in the past, anytime you have debt that makes you money, you want to get into as much of that debt as possible. So this is a perfect example. Now we're starting to make some money. So, we didn't make a ton. We made about $527 over the course of the year. And look how it increases year over year. Now you've made $1,760, now $3,000 for the year, $4,000, almost $6,000. By year 10, this thing is making you almost $10,000 for the year. If we look at our initial investment, so again, cash on cash return is what I like to look at. So if I'm putting up 48 grand, which if you're a current homeowner and you've bought in the last couple of years, I guarantee you've probably got enough equity to handle the down payment for something like this. You could pull out an equity line of credit. You could do a cash out refinance. There's lots of ways to come up with that initial, 50 grand. And again, now we're getting a 50% return on the whole thing. And this doesn't even include it when you're ready to sell it. So let's say you hold it for 10 years, the value increases by over $100,000 over the course of 10 years. So that $240,000 house that you bought that you needed a $50,000 upfront investment, now it's worth $337. So again, original loan amount, $192. But again, by paying that balance down every single month, you only owe $165. So just in pure amortization, we've earned $26,000. That's half your investment right there, just in the actual loan amount. Here's where it gets cool. So total return on investment, and again, keep in mind, this is with today's interest rates in the high sevens. If you refinance this bad boy, maybe year two or year three, when they drop into the fives, here, I can show you. Let's take a look at it. So let's say the rate's at 5.5. Look at what that does. I mean, it just dramatically increases your overall return. So again, let's put this back to the 7.25 just so we can run some more realistic numbers. And again, keep in mind, this is over a 10-year period. I can change this. So let's say, you weren't planning on keeping it for 10 years. You wanted to keep it for 5. I can certainly change those numbers. So even if you kept it for 5 years, which again, first 3 years and not really making any money, you're still going to make some solid money. So let's put it back to 10 just so we can kind of see, because I think 10 years is where you get the most amount of value on these. These are using very conservative numbers as far as home appreciation. This is not anticipating anything crazy with the housing market. So again, this is a pretty safe bet right here. So after 10 years, if you decided to sell this bad boy, you've made over $100,000. And again, your initial investment was 50. So that's how we come up with this 49.3% return. Try to name any investment where you can earn almost 50% of your initial investment after 10 years. That's phenomenal. So here's how the numbers break down. So again, first 3 years, we're not really making any money. And then it just exponentially goes up. You guys have seen would you rather take $1 million or a penny doubled every day for 30 days? That's obviously the penny. Compound interest and compounding is where money is truly made. There you have it, guys. I mean, this is a real life example of a home that's available on the market right now. If you've got $50,000 in equity sitting in your current home, this could be a phenomenal opportunity for you. But this is the thing, nobody really dives deep into these types of numbers. And again, I can adjust all this to your current situation to, let's say you wanted to put 15% down instead of 20% down. There are lots of options out there. So that's the gist of it, guys. I do think there's tremendous opportunity in real estate. Instead of waiting to buy real estate and wait. This is just one example of how you can make a ton of money. And this is how people do it, through real estate. And again, this is for an everyday person. This is not for somebody that's sitting on boatloads of cash. There is creative ways to use your money, but a lot of it, again, if you don't have it in cash, that's when we have to borrow money. And that's where I come in as a mortgage lender. I can show you how to do all of this stuff. So if you have questions on any of this, feel free to hit me up. If you've got comments or any numbers that you want to run, just let me know. And you guys have a great rest of the day.